Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, and today we are going to be starting another reading vlog. I'm so excited about this reading vlog. I feel like I haven't done a themed reading vlog in such a long time, and we are going to be reading just a bunch of vampire books. So I am on fall break right now. I do have today and tomorrow off. We are starting this readathon off a little bit late. It is currently almost 12 o'clock. It's 11:46 right now. So we are going to be spending the majority of today and tomorrow reading, and I'm so excited. I have so many good books for this readathon and this month in general. So let me quickly go over my TBR. I am going to be kind of reading all forms of the books. I'm going to be reading them physically. I'm going to be listening to them audiobook, and I do have my Kindle here. I do have one of them available on Libby through my Kindle. I have 3 books that I really hope to get through. The first one that I have is Bride by Ella Hazelwood. I know the new book just came out. Now, if I can get through all of these, or if I really love this book and I want to go pick up the new one that just came out, I will. However, all of these books have been on my TBR for quite a while, except for this one and then the last one that I'm going to talk to you guys about. This one my mom got for me for my birthday a couple months ago. I actually had no intention about reading this book, and I still am unsure if I'm even going to like it because I love The Love Hypothesis. I read The Love Hypothesis, either 2021 or 2022. I really liked it. And then what else? I read something else by Ella Hazelwood, I think. Now I'm blanking. I have no idea. Oh, okay, yes, I do. I have read Check and Mate. Okay, so I read that in January of 2024, and I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't my favorite. I liked the whole chess thing. I just found it really boring and repetitive. I felt like there was nothing going on, and we were kind of just going in circles. I have read 2 Ella Hazelwood books. One I loved, one not so much. This one, I'm not a fan of like spicy books. I like there to be more plot than romance 9 times out of 10. So I'm interested to see how I feel about this one because I've heard the reviews and people either love this book or they hate it. I just want to read a fun, kind of easy vampire werewolf book. So maybe it will be fun. I feel like it will be fun. I just have to shut that part of my brain off and enjoy this for the fun of it because it's not supposed to be serious. It's just supposed to be a fun, goofy time. So interested to see what I feel about this one. I think I'm going to be starting this later tonight because I am going to be playing some Minecraft for the next couple hours and listening to one of these books on an audiobook. So the next book that I want to read is Hunting Prince Dracula. I know this probably has nothing to do with vampires. However, they are in a castle in Romania, and there obviously has to do something with vampires or Dracula. I really don't know what's going to be happening in this book besides the fact that our 2 main characters are going to a castle in Romania. They pretty much like solve mysteries, sort of. At least that's kind of what the first one was about. They were trying to solve this murder. I don't know what this book is going to be about, but it's called Hunting Prince Dracula, and with that it screams vampire to me. So it may not be like a vampire book, but I'm just really intrigued to see what is going to be happening in this book. And then the last book is a book that I recently got, and this is the one that I'm going to probably read majority of it on audiobook, and that is Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil. How have I just bought this book a couple weeks ago? I don't know, because I love V. Schwab. I love her writing. Granted, I've only read The Vicious Duology. I have had A Darker Shade of Magic on my shelf for so many years and I have not picked it up. This is pretty much following toxic lesbian vampires through like centuries too, which is really cool. We have 1532 San Domingo de la Casa. I cannot speak Spanish. And then we have 1827 London, which is probably going to be my favorite. And then we have 2019 in Boston. I'm really intrigued to see how V. Schwab portrays those time periods in this story because I love learning about like times back then and like the clothes and the atmosphere and the culture. And just seeing how different society and just the world in general was, you know, 100, 200, 300 years ago. And seeing how people portray those time periods as well. And I'm also excited to see how all of our characters intertwine. I feel like all of these characters are going to meet each other at one time or another. So excited about this one. I am also intimidated by it. Not just by the length, just because I really don't know what the characters are going to be doing and stuff, where kind of the plot is gonna go. So I am going to start this. I'm really excited. I do have the audiobook on Spotify here. The only thing is the audiobook is like 18.5 hours and I only have 15 hours of audiobook time, so we are going to be reading some of this physically. So let's start.
McMillan. Bury my bones in the midnight soil, plant them shallow and water them deep, and in my place will grow a feral rose, soft red petals hiding sharp white teeth.
I love the audiobook narration already. Oh, this is gonna be great. This is gonna be great. Also, I got the signed version because she signed like 1,000,001 of them. And the dedication says, "To the ones who hunger for love, for time, or simply to be free." So we are going to be starting with Maria, who died in 1532. So let's get started. I'll talk to you guys in a couple hours with some reading updates. Hello everybody. So it is only like 2.5 hours later. It's currently 2:50 right now, and I have made some decent progress on Very Points to the Midnight Soil. I've been listening to it on 1.8 speed, so not necessarily twice as fast, but just a little bit under. I'm loving it so much. I really am. I'm having such a good time with this. I'm loving the characters. I'm loving the storyline. One of our characters just turned into a vampire. That scene was so cool. And it reminded me a lot of the Vampire Diaries, like how you turn into a vampire, which is really interesting. So far, we've been mainly following our two main characters, Maria and Alice. Maria is from 1532 and Alice is present day, or at least 2019. We've had one point of view of this character called Lottie, and when we went to her point of view, it had question marks around when she died. So I don't know if she's a vampire. I don't know if she is like this other character, which I can't say because it might be a spoiler, but like thinking of it, I feel like that could be it. Intrigued to see where she kind of fits in and how we're gonna learn, or if we're gonna learn more about her. We haven't gotten our character from the 1800s in London yet. I don't know if that's gonna be more towards the second half of the book and we're gonna focus on her. But the writing, I just want to take a second to talk about the writing because it is absolutely beautiful. I already knew V. Schwab was a fantastic writer from when I read Vicious. I know she writes very poetically and very beautifully, and it really truly shows in here. Another thing that I'm loving so much with this story, and I know it's going to be kind of like a reoccurring theme, is the female rage and the female anger that all of our characters have in this story, or at least one of them has in this story. Being a woman is hard in this society, and it has been through the past so many centuries, and you could see that in all of these timelines, or at least what we've gotten so far, and mainly in Maria's timeline in the 1500s, that women were treated like we weren't even human. And so to see the female rage and to see her fight back against her husband is very, just like a very powerful feeling, and I'm interested to see how the other characters envelop that female rage and see what they do with it. I love Alice so much. I definitely think she's my favorite character so far, and I feel like she's the one that I feel the most connected with, or I feel the most seen with, because, and part of that I think is because she's in like our kind of present day society. She's living in Boston in 2019, so like the things that she's struggling with and dealing with is something, or things that we can very easily relate to. She's a very realistic character, I think, out of all of them. Again, I think the time period does play a big part of that, but she's also just a college student, and she's dealing with all the struggles of that, being with stress and anxiety, this pressure of wanting to fit in, trying to find who you are, who you're supposed to be. So yeah, I'm really interested to see what is going on with Alice, because she may or may not have had a run-in with, I think, is going to be one of the other main characters. That I'm not sure of. But yeah, I am loving it so far. I didn't even say where I was. The chapters are in the characters' point of views. It jumps back and forth a lot, which I thought was going to be a little bit confusing when I first started it, but it's not really that hard. They flow very seamlessly. So I am in Alice's point of view. I'm on chapter 2. I'm on page 122. And I am just gonna take a break for a little bit. I'm gonna go get something to eat, and then I'm gonna go probably like lay down in bed or something and read some more of this. I'm loving it so far. I'm loving the writing, and I cannot wait to see what else goes on with our characters. I'd never given much thought to how I would die. But dying in the place of someone I love seems like a good way to go. Hello everybody, so it is the next morning. It's currently, oh wow, I did not realize it was that late. It is 10:06 right now, and no, I did not just get up. I've been up since like 8. I said I was gonna wake up at 8 and I actually did. I'm really proud of myself for that, because I did go to bed not super late, but later than I would have liked. Last night, I did a little update last night, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna leave it in the final cut of the video. I did end up starting Bride last night. I only read the prologue, and so I'm only on page 14. I'm not sure how I feel about it yet. Just on the prologue alone, it's definitely gonna be interesting. And that's honestly all I kind of have to say about it. I have been listening to the audiobook all morning, actually. I took a shower, played some Minecraft, got ready, and I've been listening to the audiobook the entire time. So I just got to page 307, and we have gotten the final point, or at least I think the final point of view of the story, which is Charlotte. And hers is the one that I'm most interested in reading about. She died in 1827. She's in London, so the Regency area in London is my favorite. Excited to see like her life during that time and how V. Schwab kind of paints a picture of that time period and how the characters' lives intertwine, because I think out of Sabrine's, she's definitely gonna have the most interactions, I feel like, or just passings with all the characters because she is the oldest. The last chapter that we got of Sabine, she's in London in 1823, so a couple years before 1827. So I'm interested to see how their paths cross and if like she's gonna be the one to turn Charlotte into a vampire, because I feel like that has been a little bit of a theme so far, kind of Sabine being the person that is kind of turning a lot of vampires. But I'm just over the halfway mark, which is really nice. I have 7 hours and 53 minutes left, so I have about 4 hours left on 2x speed. I'm going back and forth between listening to it on 1.8 and 2x speed. I don't know if I mentioned this yesterday, but I'm definitely liking Alice's point of view a lot more than Sabine's. I liked her point of view in the beginning. She was dealing with an unwanted marriage and being married to a very horrible person, and her dealing with that and her wanting to be free, going and, you know, being with other people. And she meets this woman and she's like, I just need to be free. How can I be free? That in turn changes her whole entire life. And then it goes from her dealing with that marriage and her wanting to be free to her being free but being a vampire, and how she has to change her whole entire life. We've just gotten her during every like 100 years. Every single time we go back to her point of view, another century has passed. She's in a different place in the world, or at least in a different place in Europe, and she's with another group of vampires. And that's kind of been, we've kind of been going circles with her and stuff over the centuries and over her point of views, which I liked the beginning, and then it kind of just, it didn't drop, it hasn't gone flat, but I feel like it has been a little bit boring. Whereas Alice, she has no idea what's going on. She has no idea what's happening to her body, and she's trying to figure out, one, what is going on, and two, how did this happen to her? And so it's kind of like a mystery type aspect going on, not really, but she wants to find answers, and she's going out and searching for people and trying to find answers, and I just feel like that's a lot more interesting than kind of what's going on with Sabine right now. Granted, now we're in the 1800s in London, and that's my favorite time period. I'm excited to meet Charlotte, see what's going on with her. Like I said, it's currently 10 o'clock. I'm gonna play Minecraft just for a little bit longer. So it's a little while later, it's almost 12 o'clock right now, and I'm about 73% of the way through Barry Bones in My Soil on the audiobook. And I think I'll clean up my room a little bit. I need to put some laundry away. Maybe I'll try to find like another game to play, or I'll do my journaling spread. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I want to make a vampire journaling spread for like this video, so like I'll put like the pictures of the books that I want to read or did read. However, I did just get a package delivered and I'm so excited. I don't know why it's in a bag though. I've never had a book come in a bag, so yay, I'm so excited. So this is the Hirono that I got. It's a Little Mischief collection. This is the one that I have of the collection so far. I really want the bear. I love the protector, the bear, the pretender with the little dinosaur. I love all of them, but those two are definitely my favorites. And then I saw this book a while ago, but I was looking at all like last night and these past couple days, and it just seems so interesting. And that is The Devils by Joe Abercrombie. And it's like this, I don't even know how to describe it. They like a dark fantasy, which I've never like read anything like that before, and I've never read anything by Joe Abercrombie. This is like a new, I don't know if it's like a trilogy or anything, but he has a lot of other series that I have heard of, and I've actually seen at Barnes & Noble and almost gotten a couple times before. But people say if you don't want to jump into those trilogies, start with this one. I may put this on my October TBR because it just sounds so interesting. But I just want to see if there's anything. Wow. Yeah, because it follows like a group of people. There's like a werewolf, a priest, half invisible elf and stuff, and then like a pirate, I think. Oh my god, wait. I didn't think there was actually stuff on. Wow. First monsters make the best allies. Look at that. That is so pretty. Have this artwork here. Oh my god, yeah. Wow. Is that the elf? Oh my god. Look at it's like Dobby. He looks like Dobby. He looks like Dobby, but invisible. That's like the only thing that I'm going to be imagining when reading it. Let's do our unboxing. I'm so excited. Okay. Oh. I love. Let's see which one I got. I can kind of feel what it is. Oh my god, look it! It's like a bird. Wait, crow, bird. Wait, what is it? Birdman. Oh, that is so cute. Oh, he has a cloud. Is that what it is? I think it's a cloud. Maybe it's not a cloud. That I cannot. He's so cute. I just need to find a place to put him. I am going to listen to some more Barry Bones in a minute, so we'll go do some chores, clean out my room, find another video game to play. everybody. So it is quite a bit later. It's currently around 3:30 right now, and I have sadly just finished up the audiobook for Barrier Bones and the Midnight Soil. I finished around like 20-30 minutes ago. I think I'm gonna end up giving it 4.5 stars. The only reason why I'm not giving it 5 stars is because I didn't totally love one of the point of views, and I am such a character driven person. I love when a story has good characters, strong characters who are very well rounded, and I'm not saying that none of the characters in here were well rounded, because they were. Everything about the structure and just the creation of the story was so well done. V. Schwab has a way with words, has a way with creating stories, creating characters. Everything connected, and that's something that I loved so much about it. I didn't love one of the characters, and that's a me problem, not a book problem at all. So that's the only reason why I'm knocking it down a half star. But other than that, this book was absolutely fantastic. The vibes, the vampire vibes and the aesthetics of this book were so well done. The way V. Schwab was able to paint a picture so clearly that I felt like I was transported into the time periods and the location that they were at in the world. I loved the way that they were all intertwined too. I knew it was going to happen at some point. It definitely happened a lot later in the story than I thought it was going to, but at the same time, a lot of them were kind of all connected. Maybe not in the very beginning, but throughout the most of the story, this one character was kind of always in the background, but we didn't know it was that character until the very end of the story, which I really liked. I didn't really know where the story was going most of the time. I had theories like here and there, but because I was listening to it on audiobook and everything was kind of happening at a faster pace, because I definitely read a lot slower than I do when I listen to an audiobook. But the ending, I love the ending. I think I heard somewhere that the ending from the art copies is different from the ending of this book, so I'm interested to see what changed, because I think the ending was perfect. I think it gave our main, I'm not going to obviously say who, but it gave our character such a fresh start, and she really is able to kind of live her life, hopefully without fear now, and she truly is free. I feel like all the characters in this book, they are searching for freedom, and I feel like only one of them gets that conclusion and that true feeling of freedom, and I'm happy that the character that got it. I had so much fun with this book, and I do fear that I should have started with Bride first, because I don't know how I am going to go from a beautifully written, well-rounded, great character, great plot, great story, and then go to Bride. Because like I said earlier, this is supposed to be just a silly, goofy time. This is not supposed to be anything serious. It's not supposed to be anything like crazy or whatever. So I do fear that I should have started with this first. But it's okay. Another thing that I loved so much about this, and I really like because it's something V. Schwab does a lot, or at least in the books that I have read, she plays around with timelines a lot. She did that so much in Vicious to the point where you would think it would be very confusing, but it flows so seamlessly, so everything makes sense. There may be a time or two where, you know, it got a little confusing, but she also does that in this book, where we're following, you know, we're going back and forth between our character in the 1500s, and then we're going to the character in the 2019, and then we're going to go to our character in the 1800s. It bounces back in time a lot, but it's so intentional and it's done so smoothly. It kept you at the edge of your seat each time because you never knew what was going to happen next. But yeah, that is all my thoughts and feelings that I have for Barrier Bones and the Midnight Soil. So while I was listening to the audiobook, I did my vampire reading journal spread, which I'm not gonna lie, I don't love. I wanted to try something different. I've never tried anything like this before, and I don't know if I like it, but this is what I have. This is what it turned out to be. I love the red, like it's like a rose lacy background, and then I love like the paper that I put like in the corners here. I love that. I love this. I put the books that I know we're not going to get to this book in this video, but I love how I put like the stuff here on the edge here. However, everything else I don't love, and I don't know what I'm gonna do. I need to make some progress on this. It is already almost 4 o'clock, and I have a whole 400-page book. How many pages is this? Yeah, 396. So a 400-page book, even though I'm like 10 pages in to read by the end of the day today. I'm gonna make some progress in this. I'll probably update you guys with like a halfway update, and then I'll update you guys tomorrow morning with my full thoughts on this book, and then kind of wrap up the video because I don't really have a lot of time to, because I have plans later tonight, so I don't have time to like wrap up the video tonight, so I'll do it tomorrow morning. Hello everybody, so it is currently 9:30. I just wanted to give a quick update on Bride because we are about at the halfway mark. I'm like 6 pages to the halfway mark. I am definitely not going to be able to get this done today. I have been reading this all day. Granted, I've been taking breaks and I just had a couple things that I needed to get done, so I wasn't fully reading this for the whole entire time. I think if I started it earlier in the day, I probably could have gotten it all done today, but I'm a slow reader and this is almost 400 pages long. I usually read at like a 40-page per hour rate, so I have about 204 pages left. I am currently on chapter 15, page 193. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of eating it up. I'm not like, okay, I have such mixed opinions on it because I'm having fun with it. I'm just not loving it. You know what I mean? Is it gonna be anything higher than a 4-star? Probably not. Right now, I'm sitting at like a 3.5, 3.75. But something that I'm really liking in this story, and something that I did not even know was going to be in this, is that there is a little girl. I love children. Children hold such a special place in my heart, and that definitely came with me having younger siblings, being the oldest child. But there's a little girl in this. It's the main male character's little sister. He's so protective of her, but she automatically gravitates towards Misery as soon as she gets to our main character's place. I realized that I didn't even tell you guys what this is about. Our main character who we're following through this book is Misery. She's a vampire, and then the main male character is Lo. He's the vampire, and pretty much there is a war that is brewing between the vampires and the werewolves, and Misery's father thinks that to kind of soothe everything and kind of show that vampires and werewolves can live, I guess, in peace with each other, is for a werewolf and a vampire to get married. Now everybody is against it, even her. So we're just following them as they're trying to figure out how this marriage is supposed to work. Something that I did not expect, that there is a small mystery in the story as well. Our Misery's best friend Serena, who she like grew up with, they're like sisters to each other, she went missing. So she is also on the hunt for her best friend, who she thinks has some sort of connection to the werewolves, and specifically Lo and his kind of like, I don't know, clan, because he's like the alpha werewolf. That whole thing still is what makes me cringe most of the time. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of having fun with it. I really am flying through it. Like when I'm reading it, I'm not even like paying attention to how many pages that I've read. I have decided to extend this video at least another day or two because I'm gonna be at school pretty much all day from like 9 o'clock to 7, 8, depending on how late my lab gets out tomorrow. So I'm gonna be there all day. Granted, I do have a lot of work and I do have a lot of classes. Wednesdays are my very long days, but I do plan on finishing Bride tomorrow, and I don't know if I'm gonna be able to even get to this, but Allie Hazelwood also has a vampire short story on Kindle Unlimited, and Christina Lauren has one too. So it says, so here are the two that I have. This is the one by Allie Hazelwood. It's called Hot for Slayer. Also there's an audiobook to it, so maybe we can like listen to the audiobook while I go in between classes. And those are my reading plans. 2 Allie Hazelwood books. Granted, this is my main focus. My plan is to get this done by the end of the day tomorrow. If I have any extra time, I would love to get through this too. I was so skeptical. At first, I was really worried. Like I said, I'm not loving it, but I'm having fun with it. And that's all that matters, honestly. Hello everybody, so I'm here to wrap up the video, give you guys my final thoughts on all the books that we read in this video. First I'm going to start off with Bride because I haven't really talked to you guys about my thoughts as I just finished it like an hour and a half ago or so. And I didn't like fully love it, but I had a really fun time with it. Like, it was fun. 25% of the way through it kind of like clicked and my brain kind of was just like, okay, we're just gonna shut off and we're just gonna enjoy the story for what it is. It's not supposed to be the best work of literature. Do I wish I've read this before I read Barrier of the Midnight Soil? Yes. Because going from such a beautifully well-written story with a great plot and great characters and great writing to going to this, which is a lot like, which isn't, it's still a fun story, but it's not like super character driven or super plot heavy or anything. I still have fun with it though. I'm giving it a 3.5 stars, which is still good. A 3.5 star is not a bad story. It's not a bad book because I will be going out to Target and getting the second book made, which follows two of the characters that are in this story. Based on the little crumbs that we got at the end of this one, I think I'm going to absolutely love their relationship. And I just cannot wait to read it. And from some of the reviews that I've seen online so far, people say it's like better than this, which I'm like, oh, okay. I'm happy I read it during like Halloween in October, because it would feel weird to read it like any other time. I did bring her to school. I read a lot of this book at school today, and I still got a lot of schoolwork done, which I did not think I was actually gonna do, but I did. But yeah, that is my thoughts and everything. And then I actually just finished up listening to the audiobook of the Allie Hazelwood book that I read on my Kindle called Hot for Slayer. It was like a 94-page little short story about a vampire and a vampire hunter, and under some certain circumstances the vampire hunter loses his memories, and she is kind of there to not guide him along, but she's kind of just there, and he slowly not really regains his memories, but like stuff happens between them, and like, yeah, that's pretty much all that happens. I'm not gonna lie, not a whole lot happens in the story, and it's a short story, of course, but it was also like almost 100 pages, and it was okay. It wasn't my favorite. I expected more, but I was able to do my nails while I was listening to the audiobook, which was really fun. And then of course we started off the video with a banger, which is Barry Bones in the Midnight Soul. 4.5 stars for this one. Oh, I ended up giving this one 3 stars because it was fun. It was alright. It wasn't like great though. But this one, I love this. I love it so much. I just want to reread it so badly and like fully annotate it. So yeah, that is all that I have for you guys for this video. I had such a fun time this week reading all these vampire books. I ended up watching Twilight in the first episode of the Vampire Diaries. We had a good range of vampire books and vampire films as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, morning, night, wherever you're in the world, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.